can just go to Google and type download Figma, because you will need the desktop application to work on it, right? So once you go on it, you can download it for, if you are using a Mac, you can download it for a Mac, or you can download it for a Windows, right? And apart from that, you just need a Google login to start working with it. So once you install it and once you log in, this is how a basic Figma setup looks like, right? So what you see here is a draft, then you see a community, and below that you see teams. So basically we use teams to work with people, a bigger, larger group of people, right? And in draft is something where you work on your own. So it's your private file. So you can just go to draft and create a new design file. Once you create a new design file, it follows a tab format. So on the top left, you can actually see your first file here. So right now it's like titled, it has no title. So you can just go there and write Figma basics, right? And once you write that, it just automatically updates, and now the file name is Figma basics. And on the tab itself, you can see, right, it's Figma basics. So let me just start with the overall layout. So what you see on the left is the layers panel. So whenever you create something, right now I'm just creating rough diagrams and everything. I'll tell you how to go about it, but right now I'm just creating it so that you can see how layers work. So on the left, you can see, since I've added a text here, you can see the layer of text. And since I've added a shape here, you can see a layer of shape as well, right? So this is the layers panel. And once you go to the asset is something that we will dig, dig deeper in further classes. But right now, I just want you to understand the asset is something where you can import a library. So you already have some components of buttons. You may have something that you have already that's already there, right? And you can just drag and drop that and use it. So asset is nothing but importing your libraries here. So this is the layer. On top here, you can see there is a move tool, there is a scale tool, then there is a constraint or the frame. That's how you enter a frame here. Then we have the shapes, then we have the vector tool, right? Now on the right, what you see is the place where we are going to do all the setup, right? This is where you decide the parameters, you decide how something is going to look, something is going to, what will the color of that particular element, what will be the size of that particular element, all those things comes here, right? So let's just start with very basics. So what we do is we normally design desktop websites or maybe some application, right? So you know that every mobile has some specific size, right? So either it will have it can be an iPhone, it can be an Android device, or it can be a basic desktop. So once you go and click on this, you will see a frame option here. So you can just click on it, or you can just click F, that is the shortcut. So you will see on your right that you have phone, you have tablet, you have desktop, then you have presentation designing templates for presentations as well. So let's just go with the phone, right? And right now I'm going to choose 11 Pro Max. So this is the default size of 11 Pro Max, right? And whatever is going to happen is going to happen under this boundaries, right? So once you create a frame, on the left in the layers panel, you can see right now you have a frame called iPhone 11 Pro Max. You can rename it. Suppose I am making a onboarding screen. Onboarding, like it's kind of a welcome screen for application. So I will write just onboarding, and you'll see the layer name updates. And on the top of it, where there was frame, there was iPhone 11 name, right? Now it's changed. It has changed to onboarding. So it's there. And once you click on it, on the right you will see all the options that will guide, that will kind of set the parameters for this has been updated, right? So we will go through that one by one, but right now I just want you to understand that on the left we have layers, on the right we have all the parameters and all the settings. So let's just start with a basic shape, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import a wireframe. So in the desktop right now, okay, so this is a rough wireframe, right? What is a wireframe? Wireframe is just a low-fed, a basic version of how our application will look like, right? So I'll just go a little deep on it. I'll just zoom in, and you'll see what we have is on the top is an image, then we have a title, then we have a subsidiary text here, And then we have our indicator, which shows that number of swipes left, right? When you open an application, you can swipe left to see the initial screen. So it's just an indicator for that. Then we have a skip button, and then we have a next button, right? This is a basic wireframe, and we are going to do that in a HiFed, that is designing the UI, and at the same time learning how the entire Figma application works. So what I will do start with is I'll just draw a rectangle. So how to draw a rectangle? Number one, you can go to the shapes tool here, and choose a rectangle, right? Or you can just press R. R is the shortcut for rectangle, and you can just have it here, right? Now once you draw a rectangle, what you will see is on the right side you have something activated. So I'll just start with the fill. So you can see on the right there is a color hex code with a color indicator which shows which color is the square right now. This rectangle is right now, right? So let's just pull this color down, and however, like whenever you move your cursor here, the color changes. So if I go to green and move it around, the color will change. You go to yellow, you move it around, the color will change. So right now what I'm doing is I'm keeping it black, solid black. So once you choose the hex code for black is 0, like 6 zeros, right? So once you do that, you will have your rectangle in the black shade. Now what I want to do is I want to add maybe some radius in a corner. So what is the radius? It is how curved the shape is going to be at the edges. So what you see here is the radius icon. So once you go on it, you can just type some digit, like right now I'm typing 60. So what you will see is the edges have rounded, right? And if you just increase it, it will keep, the edges will get rounder as you go and increase it. So it's like if it's a square, it will go to a perfect circle. But right now we just want a little just a little curve at the edge. But the problem with this is in the bottom also you will see a curve. I only want the curve at the first 2 points, right? And not the third and the fourth. So what we will do is we will select the rectangle, and just on the right of your curve icon you will see independent corners icon, right? You will click on it. So these are the 4 corners that you can set the radius for. So I want the radius in the first corner and the second corner, but not on the third and fourth. So I'll go on third, I'll just press 0, and the fourth one also I'll press 0. So what you will see is these edges have gotten sharp again, and the first 2 edges are rounded, right? So this is how you set the radius. This is how you set the fill color. Now going to the next part, which is again I'll just define how other elements work. So this is the x-axis. So if you move it, it will move along the x-axis, right? So I'll just make the frame bigger so you can understand. So I'll just draw a rectangle at the center, and I'll just give it a color, maybe red. So if you move it along the x-axis, it will move to a right and left. But if you move it with the y-axis, it will move up and down, right? So normally it is to place the element in the x or the y-axis. Then we have the width. So if you increase the width, the size increases. Right now, if you see with the width and the height on the right, you will see a locked or constraint properties, right? You will just click on it and it kind of gets independent. So if you increase the width, only the width will increase. And if you increase the height, only the height will increase. But if you lock it, both of them increase together, right? So this is how you set the width and the height. And then you have the angle. So it decides upon the rotation of the element, right? So if you just set it at 90 degrees, it will just be upright. But right now we will just set it to 0. And of course you already know how radius works, right? So this is how the entire top element, whereas we have the x, y axis and the width and the height, angle and the radius work. Now coming below that, we have the color, right? Then we also have a stroke. So stroke is the outline of a particular element. So if you add a stroke, right now it's not visible. So let me increase the size of it. So this is the part where you increase the size of a stroke. So right now when I clicked on the plus icon here, just let me go do it again. So in the stroke, you go and hit plus. What you'll see is a black color stroke has been added, whose size is 1. But we'll increase this to 5 so that is visible. So if you see right now, a stroke has been added, right? Recently Figma added a feature where you can add independent strokes as well. So if you just want the stroke on the top, you can just go to this and select top, or you can select the bottom, you can select right or left, or even you can go custom. So if you want something on the right and also on the left, you can just set it to 5 and you have it there, right? So this is how you add the stroke in a custom manner. And then we have the effects. So suppose you want to add depth to this layer and you want to add some shadow, so you can go ahead and click on this plus sign just after the effect. So once you add that, you will be able to see the drop shadow, right? Now if you will have to set the properties so that it's soft, it's coming good and not that overwhelming, right? So you will have to set the properties. Okay, so this was everything about the shape. Apart from the rectangle, we have line, we have arrows, right? We have ellipse, we have polygon, we have a star, and you can also have element called the place image. So whatever shape you want, you can just come to this drop down and select it, or you can know, if you know the shortcuts, that will be like that will make your work quicker. That's it, right? So what comes next is the text part. So coming to the text, what we have right now is the title and the subsidiary text, right? So to add a text, you go to the T icon here, or you can just tap T on your keyboard and it will just change to a cursor. So suppose I want to write welcome on board, right? I write that. Now it's not looking like a heading right now, right? So we have to set the properties for this as well. So what we will do is we'll go to the right part where we have the text, and we will add we can change the font like the font from here, or we can also change the weight. So I will just change the weight and I'll set it to bold, and I'll set the size to 24. So right now it looks more like a heading, right? So if you notice, you just saw a red line. So this is how you make sure your element are with right spacing, right? So once you click on it, you can press Alt and it will show you how far it is from the corners. So right now it's 35 pixels from top, 97 and 96 pixels from right and left, right? So this is how you play with the text. So you can set the weight here, you can set the size here. So if you, right now it's 24, you can do it 32, but it's too big, so I will go back to 24. Then you can set for alignment, center, left, right, everything is there, right? So after this you will need a subsidiary text. Just give me a second. So to set the subsidiary text, you will see that normally they are smaller in size compared to the title. So I'll just go there, I'll set regular, I'll decrease the size to 16 maybe. And right now you need some bigger messaging, right? So that it gives a description of what the user is getting into. So I'll write I'm just writing some dummy text. So right, I'll just take it, I'll copy, just duplicate the lines. Right now if you see, it's like coming in a straight line, it's going outside the frame. So this was your frame, that was iPhone 11 frame. If you right now if you see, there is a tick here which says clip content. So if you clip content, everything outside this frame won't be visible, right? So I'll just go and uncheck it, and you will see everything that spills outside the frame is also visible right now. So I'll just select this, and I can decrease the size, or if you see, there is an icon here which says auto width, so it kind of brings everything to in a straight line. And you can also choose auto height. So when you decrease it, it will automatically the boundaries will automatically stick to the top and the bottom of the text. But if you choose fixed height, you can just set it. If you want it a little more spacing from here, you can just set it right there. But right now, if you see, this is center aligned, this is not center aligned. So you will just go ahead, select this, and on the right, you will see center aligned text. You just click on that, and right now what you can see is the text has been center aligned, right? I'll just go and change this color a little bit, because right now it's coming too much on the eyes. I want the people, the users to focus on welcome on board first and then on this text, right? So I'll just do that. And what you see right now is a subsidy text just below the main heading. And yeah, so we have the subsidy text here. Now coming to the next part is how do you make sure it's center aligned, right? So on the right top corner, if you see, there are some alignments, predefined alignments. So you just have to select the element. So right now I am placing it to the left. Okay, back to clip content, because I don't want everything to spill over it from the frame. So I'll select this, right, and I'll go on the top and select center align, right? Yeah, or horizontal center align. So when I click on this, it will automatically like snip to the center of the frame, because this is like preset, right? Then you can similarly, if you want, you can go to bottom align, so it will go to the bottom of the frame. You can choose top align and it will go to the top of the frame, right? But right now I just want it to be in the center, so I'll just go with center line, and I'll just move it ahead so that it looks like a subsidy text. And yeah, we're good. So we have the messaging right, like, loud and clear, that it's a welcoming screen, it has a header, it has a subsidy text, and that's how actually you go with the font. So right now what we have covered is, we have covered the shape, we have covered the font, and we have covered how frames work, right? So those three are the most important elements. Now moving ahead, like how do you add buttons and everything, right? So right now, firstly, I want an indicator. So I will use the shape tool again. So I just want the user to know that there is something that they need to swipe to the right. So I'll just move it here, and I'll just keep moving it left. I'll making sure that it is left aligned with the text here, right? So I can just select these two and choose the left align from the top, right? Or I can just move it around, and once it's on the left, you will see a red line. That is kind of Figma automatically telling us that it's in alignment with the above text, right? I want this to be rounded, so I'll just add some curve to it, right? Now we already know how that works. We have mastered it. So that is there, and I want the users to swipe at least 4 times. So I'll add 4 indicators here. I'll make this a little lighter, because right now these are not active, right? So I'll just make it a little lighter, and the active one has some indication. See, I'm taking the active color green right here. So right now they are in 1, and they have to swipe right to move to 2, 3, and 4, right? So we have the indicator in place. Right now we need a button. So what we will do is, we'll just make a shape again. Now right now I'm choosing an eclipse actually. So you can either do it from the drop down, or you can just press O and you will have your eclipse here. I'll just place it here, and making sure it is well aligned with the elements on the top. Okay, so I want this to be green as well, and I will add, I need an icon here which may be an arrow. So what you can do is, when you have to go about how icons work, you can actually go to the community. So community is a place where you can find all the resources that will help you design better. So you can just go there and type icons, right? So there are a lot of icons here. There's a very good library which is called Iconly 8. Right. Give me a second. Is this the one? Yeah. So I'll just go and click on get a copy, and it will create a file for me. So I'll just create a file. Right. So there are a lot of icons here. So what you can do is, you can choose an arrow icon from this place. So just let me look for it. Hopefully it's there. So Actually, this is not the only way to get icons. You can also add some plugins. So I'll just look for the icon. If I find it, it's good, like without wasting much time, or else I'll get it from a plugin. Okay, got it. I'll just copy that from there. So it's simple. You click on it, you say Control C, you go to this place and Control V, and you have your icon. Right. You can do this. Right. So you have your button here. Now, when a couple of elements belong together, you can group it. So you have to click on the eclipse icon. You have to click on this arrow icon and just go Control G. Right. Once you press this, now it's a group. On the left on your layer, you can see it says group 1. I will name it button, and then we have the icon, that is the arrow there, and we have the eclipse. So these two are forming a group, that is a button group, right? How do you like break a group? So you just click on that group and enter Control Shift G. Don't worry about the shortcuts. As you practice, as you design more and more things, you will just learn how shortcuts work. Don't just sit down and write down and mug up the shortcuts. You will get it with time. So again, we have the group here, but the problem is you cannot select the inner element of the group directly, right? So if you click on it, you will be selecting both these elements, which is forming a group. So if you want to select the arrow, you will have to go double down on it. So you will have to click twice to select the arrow. And if you select the arrow, you can just go there, change the color, or maybe set some properties, right? The second thing that I was talking about was plugins. So if you see on your top here, you will see a resources icon, right? Click on that, go to plugin, just see there is a thing called feather icon, right? Or you can just type it here. If you don't find it, just type it here, feather icon. So you just click on it, you click on run, and it should appear anytime. And yeah, we have the icons here, right? So you just need to, if you can look for it, it's okay. If not, you can just type arrow and you will see all the arrows icons here. So you can, what you just need to do is click on it. If you click on it, you will see that it is right now on our canvas. Yeah, you cannot see it because of the color. I will make it white, right? This is the arrow. So you can either get it from a plugin, or you can just go to a community and pick it up from there, right? So these are the two elements. Now I am going to add an image at the top. So how do you add the image? So let me just quickly search for an image. So I'll just go this, I'll go here, I'll search. Oh, why not use a plugin? So let's go there and search for, I don't know if you heard about Unsplash, but it's a very good plugin to get free images, which you can use in your design. So I just run that plugin. It's called Unsplash, right? So suppose it's e-shopping of platform, right? So I go e-commerce and click enter. There are some very good images. So I'll pick one from here. How about something clean, something minimal? Okay, let me just take a random image, maybe somebody checking out. Okay, I'll take this. Right, I just dragged and dropped the image. It's that easy, right? And do it. So I'll just make the size smaller. So to make the size smaller, you just have to select the element and lock this and go down. Or what you can do is you can select this. You can hold shift. If you hold shift, what happens is the width and the height, they remain proportionate and it increases in a proportionate manner. But if you don't have that, if you increase or decrease it, you will see it's not increasing or decreasing in a proportionate manner, right? So always hold shift to do it, or you can use a scale tool. So scale tool is just below the move tool, that is this one, or you can just click it and press K. Once you press K, it changes to a different cursor, which is a scale tool. So you can just resize it. I'll pick this up, I'll drop it in the canvas, I'll just put it here, make it a little bigger. Now I'll have to send it to the back, right? So what I can do is I can give a right click. I can just go send to back, bring to front, or send to back, right? You can do this, and right now it's behind it. So the image is dark, so it is not kind of bringing the right contrast, but this is how the image thing works, right? You can just replace it with some other lighter image which goes well, or a very beautiful illustration or something, and it might work really well. So this was the basic, right? We covered icons, how icons work, how images work, how shapes work. We covered how groups work, right? We've covered how frames work. So this is the entire basics of how Figma works. Now the next thing that I want to discuss in person is what about improving in design, right? This knowledge is enough to get you started with designing, but how do you actually go ahead and become a better designer? So I'll show you some websites that will work for you. So UI Daily Challenge. It's a very good platform to increase your skills, get better at design. Yeah, this is the website. So what you do is you go to the website, you go to Daily UI, become a better designer in 100 days. So what it will do is once you enter your email, every day it is going to send you a task, right? Maybe they will ask you to make an onboarding screen. Maybe they will ask you to design something related to an application, a functionality, maybe a button, maybe a calculator. And every time you design, you will see that your design skills are increasing. You are getting faster, you are getting better, right? So you just have to enter your email and click get started. That's it, and you will good to go. And apart from this, what I will recommend is you start shadowing. So shadowing is like copying good design. It's not like, don't go by the name. Like I always suggest that when a designer starts, he better start with copying. So you can just go to Dribble, right? You can just search for an app. Suppose you want to make an app. Let's go with a calculator, because that is something you are going to receive, right? Okay, so you see there are calculators with some very good designs on Dribble. So you can just take a snap of this and you can copy it, and you can try to kind of create a replica of how it works, or you can try something of your own. Take the inspiration from here and try something of your own. This is the first thing that you should do, and it's called shadowing. So you should definitely do this. It will help you improve in design, and it will help you see things from a perspective of a good designer, right? Second thing you need to do is collect references of good websites. So suppose you like how Credit designed, so you can take a screenshot and try and replicate that, or even not replicate. You can go to good website and observe it, what makes it good, right? Or what is making it stand out, what is making it so special that users are liking how it looks and feels. So you can do that. Apart from that, I think just practicing consistently and taking good inspirations will be like enough for you. You just have to be consistent. Okay guys, so let's just wrap this up. Thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful. Just trying to do my bit to help new designers get into the industry. So yeah, we'll stay connected. I'm available if you need any resources, any kind of resources, whether UI, UX, or maybe I'm helping people with interviews also. So, and the portfolio reviews definitely. So yeah.
Thank you for this session, Sumit.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.